Qualcomm and Marvell Technologies are two semiconductor design companies that are gaining a lot of interest from stock market investors. They're asking me which one do I like better as a long-term buy at current market prices. So I'll answer that question in this video. I'll compare Marvell and Qualcomm on critically important financial metrics like revenue growth, like operating profit margins, and returns on invested capital. I'll also compare these two on valuation. I'll share with you my proprietary discounted cash flow valuation models for these two companies and the intrinsic value per share calculations. I'll also share with you the comparison on the forward price to earnings basis. And finally, I'll share with you my conclusion on which one I think makes the better investment at current market prices. So I wanted to start with the revenue growth comparison, and a couple of things jump out at me right away. First of all, the difference in scale. Qualcomm generated $43 billion in revenue in the trailing 12-month period, and Marvell generated $7.2 billion. Secondly is the compounded annual growth rate difference between these two. They both generated increases, but Marvell has grown revenue at a compounded annual rate of 11.4% over the previous decade, while Qualcomm was roughly half that at 5.8%. However, one other thing jumps out, that in recent years, let's say if we look at from 2020 onward instead of 2015 onward, Qualcomm has accelerated its revenue growth. You can see its revenues have jumped from 23.5 billion up to 43.3 billion, whereas from 2015 to 2020, Qualcomm's revenues were in decline from 25.3 to 23.5 billion. So Qualcomm has really accelerated its revenue growth, and so has Marvell since 2020. They've both generated more revenue growth since 2020. Qualcomm especially has made great strides in expanding its market opportunity by expanding into new product categories. Its automotive segment is growing much faster than the handset segment, and then it's also making inroads in the personal computing industry with new Snapdragon-based PCs that are selling quite well, and the company's gaining market share. So nice increases in revenue for both Marvell and Qualcomm. And then looking ahead, I expect their revenue growth rates to be more closely connected or more closely in terms of scale. I don't expect Marvell to outperform Qualcomm as much as it has in the previous decade. I expect going forward the difference to be much closer.
Click the link below to watch the full video.